Trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Good morning. Well, overnight action has actually been pretty slow. If we pull this over, not a ton of movement. They retraced a little bit and extended a little bit, but overall, I'd say we've formed a decent balance zone here. It's Tuesday. We will probably extend this range, but there's no news. Let me double check here. Trade balance, jolts, drops, consumer credit at 1 o'clock. Also, the president is speaking tonight. I plan on coming home and streaming that, watching that with you guys. We'll watch the markets, but I don't know if markets are really going to react. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of reason for this to move that I can see. So yeah. Well, let's come here. Zerv is back. That's good. I've been spoiled by some other products, I think now. Okay, well, I'm going to grab the links here, and yeah, we'll get it on. Good morning, Michael. New face? Well, no, wait, weren't we talking like a few days ago? I don't remember. Anyways, good to see people in bright and early. See here, did I post that one? No, I didn't. Okay. Got here. Here's the other link. Let's see if we can get Restream chat to be a little better today. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. I think we're all set here. Here. Yeah. guys. Well, didn't have the squat going. That'll help. Okay. Alright, we got some people on Twitch. Good morning to y'all. Y'all. I'm not from Texas, my wife is, and I think I'm picking up her language, guys. Wow. Yeah, we did move up a tick. This is gonna be interesting. I don't know if there's gonna be really a lot of trade before equities open, though. I don't know. So there, can you see all three of them? All three of them are bid right now. Not a ton on the bid. It ticking up is not attracting any kind of activity whatsoever. Like a few. Okay, so there's 100 lots went through. That's pretty pathetic. And let's see here.
Just a reminder, just under 3 minutes till the Canadian trade balance number for November. Looking for a deficit read of 2.15 billion.
There we go. Get a link up on Twitter that attracted a lot of viewers yesterday. Yeah, I don't know why. So it says that it's like initialized. Maybe the one comment that we got so far, Michael speaking here, hasn't showed up there. Well, we have a bunch of comments in Discord, of course, but Restream doesn't show Discord yet. So 27.5 had 1,000 sell into it, but 28 has gone bid. Curious. What about the spread? You know, yesterday. Oh, hold on. Here's this phone. They called and they immediately hung up. Somebody keeps calling my kid's phone. Maybe we will answer it if they call again, because I'm getting sick of it. Like, who would call? Why is this? These aren't any numbers that we know. Who would be calling? Doesn't make much sense.
Just under a minute to the data.
Open this up. This like this. There we go. And pull up TweetDeck so that we see so that we'll see the news as it comes in on Twitter.
10 seconds.
I think I should maybe go and wash my car, because it looks like the forecast for the next week is going to be pretty dry.
It's a deficit of 2.06 billion Canadian dollars, with a prior revised to a deficit of 0.85 billion Canadian dollars versus a previous prior of 1.17 billion deficit.
Okay, so
You know, in energy news, Canadian total crude oil exports fell 160,000 barrels per day to 3.52 million barrels per day in November, as versus 3.68 million barrels per day in October.
So we were expecting negative 2.1, and
Meanwhile,
they
on the
posted
import
a
front, they
surplus
rose
of
136,000 barrels per day
3.5,
to 671,000 in November.
which makes it minus 2.06.
That's a 17.7% drop for Canadian crude oil exports. That's the most since Feb 2016. If you recall, we had that Alberta issue as well.
Looks like different places are reporting the numbers differently, but on Forex Factory, it's showing up in about equal. So seriously, who's calling? That's crazy. And it only rings like once and then it hangs up. What's with that? Mm-mm-mm. Interesting. So I'm just kind of reading through here some of the political news. Mm-mm-mm. This person is saying right-wing media cares about the wall and Trump's base doesn't, which doesn't make much sense at all to me. I think the right-wing media, which tends to be kind of anti-Trump right now, to be honest, this little corner of right-wing media at least, doesn't really seem to care about the wall a ton. I think that they think it should be built, but I don't think that they think the government is worth the shutting it down over. But Donald Trump's hardest fans 100% think that it's worth shutting the government down over. 100%. Oh, you know what? We should get this book over here. Put the microphone up on that. So we were doing that earlier. There we go. That gives you much better, a little bit more direct sound. Anyways, like, I really think that for Trump's base, this is like a do or die issue. Like if they don't get it, or at the very least he doesn't try, which we can't say he didn't try at this point, right? I mean, he did shut the government down at least, but like, if he doesn't try his hardest to get that signature accomplishment done, why should they vote for him again? You know, or at least why would they come out in like massive numbers and really stick their necks out for him? You know, that's the problem. If you're him, is he's so controversial, and even still, it kind of seems like if you go out on social media and strongly support the president, you just get people all over you, right? So if we're in an election, why would any of his supporters want to stick their neck out for him? You know what I mean? So I think it's a do or die issue for him and his base. Okay, well, now we're back down at 27.5. I'm not really seeing anything too readable in the flow, except for the fact that ZB is been selling a little bit and appears to be a little bit higher than the others. Yeah. See, not a ton on offer, but it's starting to flicker around, and the E-mini is starting to move here. Video output low. So does the stream still look good? Wondering if maybe Restream is having issues. A decent amount is sold into 27.5. If they were to clear it right now, it would be 2,000, maybe even 3,000, which would be a potential level break setup. Although, if they did do a level break setup in a context this slow, there's a pretty reasonable chance that they make a new low and then immediately bounce, you know? Bitcoin actually saw a little bit of buying again last night. That's interesting. I wonder what they are saying over there, because it does seem like they are awfully anxious to buy it right now. Store of value properties. It was what gives crypto networks value. Utility is overrated for the purposes of investment appreciation. Utility is a red herring for investors. In the case of Bitcoin, its real utility is really just a bucket. It's a bucket to store value. Make no mistake that the majority of asset value in the world is derived from players parking value into an asset for storage, whether it be a house, a lump of gold, or even to a lesser extent stocks. No, wrong. Why would you park your asset value, as most of us do, into a house? I'll tell you why. Because most people need houses. Houses have utility. Why do people put value into gold? Well, because a lot of people use gold, and you can actually use gold for a lot of things. If nobody was actually buying gold, there would be no reason to have it. Right? The reason that these assets have value is because people use them. That is, they make transactions with them. Right? If nobody made transactions with gold, that is, there wasn't a lot of people buying and selling gold, it wouldn't be worth anything. 100%. Okay. So why would I put my money into cryptocurrencies instead of gold when there's so many more people using gold? Because cryptocurrencies have additional utility. I can make that transfer. It'll go through in 10 minutes. Doesn't cost me anything. I don't have to rely on anybody else to make that transaction. The bank can't come in and say, well, I don't like your ideas, and so I'm not going to process your transaction. That's utility. That's why cryptocurrencies have value. And yeah, this whole idea that you can just park it without there being a reason for people to make transactions in Bitcoin is just insane, in my opinion. It's really dumb. Like, you're parking your money in an asset. Who's going to come and buy it from you right now? So the other people that are still clinging on to it. That's really what it's turned into right now. Well, there's an iceberg there. I think we kind of have to take it, but I don't know if that's going to fill. Kind of wondering though, this might be the kind that we do get the fill and then it goes through us for 2 ticks and then turns around. It's still like when it gets this slow. Those are the sorts of things that happen. Well, I have an okay spot in the queue. That 27.5, even though it looks a little bit weaker, it's not really pulling. Yeah, this is pulling. And notice here in the 5-year, that is curious too. Pretty slow. Gold has value because it is precious to the industry. It is available in almost every device or machine, so it makes it so valuable. Okay, sure, yes. It does have utility.
China-US trade talks to continue tomorrow, the Global Times says. To repeat, the Global Times reporting China-US trade talks to continue tomorrow.
Yay, I guess. I don't know if I want to be going long in Treasuries if they react to this news. Well, they're not really doing anything. So let's pick a different example. What's this? I mean, I want to get filled so badly, but I don't like this. Oh, well, there you go. They bought it. I could try and buy 27.5, but I think that this chain is going to leave without me. So let's pick a different asset, right? So like something that doesn't really have a whole lot of utility, like I don't know, would diamonds qualify? Like, there's not really the only reason to have diamonds is because people put them on rings. And the only reason they put them on rings is because they're considered valuable, even though they're not nearly as valuable as the market says they are.
From that Chinese Global Times journalist saying those talks haven't concluded after 2 days of tough work. I heard they will continue tomorrow. This sends a signal that the two sides are in serious talks and working hard to solve the disagreements between them.
Gold alone is so valuable to NASA. It's a good point. I always kind of wondered with gold, like, because gold has always been precious, right? Did people thousands and thousands of years ago really understand that gold would have so many uses, applicable uses, you know, and that it would be worth gathering up that much of it? I mean, maybe they didn't really know, but they kind of knew because it's heavy and there's other properties about it that are weird, and so that uniqueness kind of stood out to them, even though it wasn't really, you know what I mean? I don't know. Same with the diamonds. Like diamonds, there's not like I guess there are some industrial uses of diamonds, but you can like make fake diamonds now. And yeah, even the gold in your computer is yeah. My wife's my father-in-law has been collecting old computer equipment for years and years and years, and he turned some of it into a recycler distributor person, and it was worth like $100 just from all of the extra gold that's in it. Yeah, it's valuable as a conductor. There's a few in yeah. But let's put it this way. The industrial uses for gold are dwarfed by the number of people that are using it as a store of value or as an investment, right? I think the industrial uses are better than the jewelry uses. Same for diamonds. Diamonds have some crazy heat
Issuance a mandate
properties.
for Portugal long 10-year euro bond.
Right. But if it was just, ooh, that's pulling. Hmm. Well, they went through that 27 and filled me a little too easily. After waiting so long for a fill, that is not the way that you want to see it go, is it? See it come back down at 27 and find out that you're still one of the very few people waiting for a fill there, and you just got filled, and now they're gone through you, and now they're buying back up, and there's more people buying than there's more people they're selling on limit than there was people buying on limit there. Well, we did tick back up. Let's see. It looks really slippery right now. Let's say slippery. Yeah. I'm just saying that the use of it is like dwarfed by the number of people that are using it for investment properties, right? And they, I think the investment properties of it came well before the industrial uses for it, right? But if it was just for the industrial uses, and that was the only reason that anybody wanted diamonds or gold, it would not be worth even a quarter of what it is worth today, because they are assets, like financial assets, right? But they're only valuable financial assets because so many people trade in it, right? Like, in order for something to be a store of value, there has to be a lot of people using it. And there's not a lot of people using Bitcoin right now. Like, if I wanted to make a $1 million transaction in Bitcoin, I could not do that without affecting Bitcoin's price right now, without substantially changing the price. Everybody would see it on the blockchain, and that would be a big enough change on the blockchain that stuff would move. Yeah. It's going to go back and forth here, I think. Yeah. The upticks look a little bit better than the downticks, but we're probably at the mercy of the E-mini. The range has gotten so tight here. Okay. But gold's use is split 50-50 industry jewelry, but diamonds are split between natural, almost 100% jewelry and artificial industry. Ah, yeah, that's a very good point. People buy it because they can afford it. Oh, they buy Bitcoin because they can afford it. Well, that I think is a very good observation. You're very right. They can't really speculate in gold, but you can speculate in Bitcoin with $5, and so people do it. And so it has the unique ability to create bubbles because everybody can get involved. And no matter how high Bitcoin goes, because Bitcoins are infinitely parsable, or is I forget what the word is they use, but because you can split it as many ways as you want, you know, no matter how high Bitcoin goes, people will always be able to get involved and speculate with it. Some central banks, such as China, used to be large gold buyers. I don't know about recently. That's a good question. Well, but that's exactly why being on the gold standard was such a big problem, right? Because really, excuse me, imagine like right now, okay, our economy is based on debt and buying and selling treasuries. So if the Chinese government wants to screw the US over, okay, so that was a good fill. I don't think the way that ticked up was really positive, and I think it could go for more, but it's still so slow. Oh, are they going to call me again? Nope. It's not going to do it. It turned on, but then they immediately hung up before it even rang. Anyways, so like, because China owns all of that debt, if they tried to do something to the United States, they sure it would cause a lot of harm, but it would also cause a lot of harm to China, and in fact, it would probably hurt China a lot more than it would hurt the United States, and it would kind of be a futile measure, right? But what if it was gold? What if the economy was still based on gold? China could just sell their gold. They would make money off of it. They could transfer it to some other asset. It would harm the price of gold significantly. And, although their own gold holdings would decrease in value, it wouldn't harm them that much. And that was what the sort of thing that happened in those days, was that a central bank would just say, we're going to sell some gold. And then the United States would go into a recession. That's why having a currency backed by a commodity is a bad idea. For national security reasons, it's a bad idea. That's why they got off of it. It was like a national security issue, because they had it like that, where it was based on debt, but you could still redeem gold for like a really long time, and they got rid of it for no real reason. Well, you're not exactly getting easy fills at 28, so can't say that it was like gangbusters, but I think that I got a good trade there. I'm still really surprised, though, how it went at 27. That it pulled like that. I really wanted 2 off of that trade, but one of the things I found is, like, if it goes against you and then it gives you a chance to get out, that sometimes it's better to take the risk off. You know, and I had 2 contracts on there, which was not intentional. Well, it was intentional, but once it got filled the way that I did, I didn't want to. Maybe I could have gotten rid of one and then be sitting at 28 to get a fill, but I'd still be feeling really nervous, don't you think? It's Josiah. How's it going? Evening here in the Philippines. Oh, well. That's... Yeah, I had a friend. Did they live in the Philippines? I think they did. I think they were Filipino. It's yeah, I had a friend that I knew from a Facebook group for a church related thing, and there was actually a number of Filipinos in that group, although this particular girl was the only one that like really interacted with people, and she was totally 100% trying to find somebody to marry and come over to the United States. And I still have her on my Facebook feed, and she does have a boyfriend now in America, and they have like a long distance relationship. But I don't know if she's ever gonna come over. But she really wanted to come over. And one of the reasons why I always get a little frustrated when I see the immigration debate going on, because I'm like, I see all of these people that you know, come into America illegally, and then there's all of these people that are like my friends, and they're honest and they're going to do things by the rules, and they can't get in. It's not right. But it is what it is. The whole immigration system is you know, it's not very good. They need to change it. They need to change the rules. They need to change how you get, you know, who gets green cards and how many they give out. And it shouldn't be based on just whether or not you already have relatives here. I don't think that's a good reason for, you know, to limit who can immigrate. But then you would have to go into like from an economist point of view, how many workers per year can the United States actually afford to import without affecting wages and this sort of thing. Anyways, I have to say, it really is like in Bitcoin. Let's see if I can pull up the chart here. Okay. Bitcoin estimated transaction value. There actually was a large transaction on the 12th of December. Okay, so like when Bitcoin fell apart, you had some big transactions as people were trying to get out, but otherwise, use of the blockchain has actually overall decreased. Do you see that? We were getting close to 1 million, and now the average is almost half as much. Well, let's not call it the average. The average was probably 750, and now the average is like 500,000, right? Use has decreased. So if use has decreased, who's going to come and hold the bag for you? Therefore, I can only conclude that Bitcoin at the current time is being driven primarily by greed. I'm gonna get you. Nope. I picked it up and I got nothing. Must be some sort of a prank of some sort. And it's like from a different number every time. So that's interesting. Somebody doesn't like that phone. I wish Ethereum will go to $160. Is it? Let's pull up our chart here. Well, I have it at 154. I guess you're saying you want it to go down there so you can buy it. Well, it was there the other day. Else. Yeah, I don't know. So the thing that I was watching was let me pull it up here first. No. Oh, now Coinbase Pro is getting all sorts of instruments in there. So they actually did add these other coins. So no, I need to zoom out further. Yes. Bitcoin Cash was at 100. It went to 150, went to 200, and now it's 150. But this whole thing, like from here to here, was the SV guys selling. Pretty crazy. So I thought, hey, would be worth buying, except for I don't know if Bitcoin's going to take another dive, and then you'd be left, holding it during another Bitcoin dive. But I'm wondering and hoping maybe if Bitcoin takes another dive, that maybe they get below 100. Maybe Bitcoin Cash even goes to like 50. I think that would be an amazing deal. Could happen. But for now, I can only wait. Like, this is going to be like the cold night, They're not going to, oh, there you go. There's the new low. Sure enough. I'm actually quite lucky that they let me get out there the way that they did. Because it looks like the market is buying off of this trade news. And Treasuries are moving down, even though we're not seeing like significant changes in flow. A little bit of change in the currencies, but not a ton. I think I would have to favor selling right now, unless we came into some sort of an iceberg or some other kind of odd action. That I'm holding 5 Ethereum. Wow. Okay. 160. Oh, okay. Sure. Well, I mean, they're buying it right now. The question is just how high it goes. Like, my numbers say that if Bitcoin is able to make another little run here and gets back to 4,500, at that point you would have made enough. How do I phrase this? I'm not giving financial advice. I have to be careful about this. I'm just trying to explain to you how I would do it, right? The risk reward past 4,500 is very bad. So if you were holding right now and we got to 4,500 on Bitcoin, I would sell at that point. Is that fair enough? If I covered my my tracks well enough, You can lose a lot of money trading cryptocurrencies, so I'm just.
In Energy News, BP planning for significant growth in the deepwater Gulf of Mexico. Sees growth in the net Gulf production to around 400,000 barrels per day in the next decade.
So there's still a lot of liquidity here, 26 and 26 half. There actually was some liquidity at 24 half that, or was it 25? Yes, at 25. There was some liquidity at 25 that has since consolidated. It's moved up. So maybe those were some targets and he actually moved his target up +1. I have to say, I think that this could go for a little bit more, but I don't think that you have very good risk reward at 26 half.
More from BP saying the application of technology and analysis now identified an additional 1 billion barrels of oil in place at the Thunder Horse field.
Well, let's see what's. Ugh. That's awful. Newborn baby found dead inside cooler on side of road.
Kika production facility could also provide further tieback development opportunities.
Looks like a lot of people long the Canadian dollar. Americans spend twice as much on healthcare per person. I spent a lot on healthcare this year.
Report that BT may lose some EU contracts following Brexit.
Okay, so the E-mini is eyeing a new high here, and Treasuries are moving up. A little bit of a divergence there. Just a little bit. That would be suspicious. Yeah. So I'm wondering if they can make it back up to like 27.5. Maybe would give us another signal there. Although I have to say, the stacking and pulling and the bids favor long right now in treasuries. Well, let me rephrase that. They favor long in the 10-year. See that? Bids absorbing. Lots of people long, or lots of bids here. So you actually kind of have some buy pressure here. They may have to come back up in order for them to make a move lower. If they're able to get past 25 half though, you could maybe see a little bit of what happened yesterday. Because then you would be past the key levels. 25 half is a pretty key level. Okay. 5-year looking to maybe get bump up here a little bit. I'm also wondering, like, can equities really keep up this pace? I don't know. Equities have bought up a lot. For them to have another big rally today would be really something else. Hmm. M. Lippin on Twitter, one of the guys that tweets about ZN or ZB the most, says he senses some FU moves in treasuries. Well, yeah, I don't know. So far, the action that I'm seeing is pretty close to what I expected. Right, was a low overnight range. There's no significant news. There was some news, but it was in line, and it wasn't a number that tends to move us anyways. And nothing has happened. So, boring day. Boring trading day. Yeah, it's funny because we were saying, hey, we could get really good trade next week. Remember when we were saying that? Could still get some, Wednesdays tend to move a little bit more. That's why I think it would actually be a good thing for the E-mini to, maybe consolidate a little bit today instead of having a bull run. At the moment, though, they look like they're having a bull run. Because they like this trade war news. I'm a little, I don't know. The thing is remember when we had good trade war news, like, look, for me, it looks short. It is traded and accumulated all the time on the lower prices. If now the trading activity increases, then it will be fine. You're talking about Bitcoin, probably. Anyways, if equities consolidate here, then it would be a little bit better because Wednesday tends to be a day that people like to buy. Oh, ZN. It is traded and accumulate all the time on the lower prices. Yeah. Well, that's why I'm saying, like, there is some that's a lot of buying there at 25 half. Here's my little chart here. Let me like put that there and get you like a good screenshot. So there, that was kind of like, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. Nope, it must be some sort of a prank thing. So I'm just going to mute it. There. Anyways, so if they got below 25 half, that would be a complete retracement of the risk off move, right? But that's why there's so much down there willing to buy. And for them to bust through that, you would need at least 1,500 contracts to do it. But if it were to trade through that, that would be very significant. Like, there would be some stops. You know, that would cause a little bit of chaos. But it's so slow. It would be very difficult for them to get through that with the kind of action that we're having right now. I'm wondering what's going to happen here at 28. There's a bit of an iceberg at 27.5. So that provides you one spot that you could potentially go short if you want to go short. It was where I was trading at from before. That price was actually a little flaky and slippery, the 27.5. So I think there's a good chance that we could get through it. But there is an iceberg there. So do they get through the iceberg and make it to 28.5? Or does that iceberg hold? It's too tough to say. The ZN like accumulation actually still looks long. How can there be that much absorbed, but it's the stacking and pulling still says that it's bullish? There's a little bit something there that I don't understand. Oops. See, I'm not sure about 27.5 enough to go short there. But that's certainly the kind of spot where you could get an iceberg and it could push us down. Wow. Well, they sold 4K there at 27 pretty fast. Could be somebody bailing. This move here in Treasury looks to be trading. You know, it's based on people's positions. It's not really being affected by the E-mini over here yet. Should have taken the short. would be a good short too, because if we're going to sell down into this, it's going to be dicey. Profit taking at 26.5. It's going to be dicey, and you could get like head fakes in here. So to have 3 ticks or so of buffer room to be able to take a profit in here if you need to. But here's another reason where it will be difficult for them to break that level. Okay. Well, 26 is bid now. They are stacking at 27. This would be a spot where I would want to see a level break set up at 26.5. Some absorption on the offer at 26.5. E-mini still hasn't moved since they came down a little bit there. A few nibbling at it. A little bit of pulling. A little bit of red here. These are definitely red. Yeah. Looking good so far. Eh. JPY looks weak, yeah. Well, I'm not seeing the, the level break at 26 half yet because nobody's buying it. Yeah, then it kind of grinds the recovery. See, you're not getting enough people buying 26 half. And they're really putting the pressure on. It's kind of unfortunate. Like when we were at 27 half, I said it was a potential short, but I wasn't sure if they were going to go bid and maybe I could get 28. And so because of, you know, some fuzziness around one or two ticks, I didn't take it, and it would have been a good trade for at least three ticks. Okay, so that was a lot of selling at 26, and it held. And now you're seeing more orders showing up at 25, and now also, well, I guess the 24 was always there, huh? Yeah, okay. Yeah, and it's moving down now that the E-mini is moving up a little bit. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, here's the equity open. Yeah, talking to Zerv here. Nikki has been grinding up for the past few hours. I've been in the position for 9 hours. Ugh. F my life. So he must be long the Nikkei, huh? I'm just saying, if you are a seller and you really, really want to sell, and it's moving up pre-market, the incentive for you to try and do it pre-market is very low. You might as well watch and see what the open does and, see if you can get a better price. Because there's going to be a lot of buyers and sellers here. It's going to wiggle around a lot. I will say though, the volume here is a lot less than it has been. Hmm. You could see the E-mini going for a little bit more. 25.79 probably should break it. Hmm.
Sharing via sources that Italy's Treasury is preparing to launch a new 15-year government bond via syndication in the coming days.
There was some new highs there, but I don't think that Zerf got filled. Hit the bid at 25.5 and take 4 to 5 ticks. And you see the problem with this trade. So like I think what you're saying is I could go in here and I could say stop limit at 25.5. And then if they trade through it, maybe it goes through for 4 ticks or something like that, right? So the problem that I see with that trade is that one, you've got 6,000 at 25. So one possibility is that we get through 25.5 and then we don't get through 25, right? Their mini's gonna buy. I think Zerf's gonna get filled here. Come on. I'm rooting for you, buddy. Okay, so there they traded through it. They immediately went offer pretty strong. So, okay, so like that right there is exactly the sort of thing that I'm talking about. Nah, I don't know if the 25 is fake. One of the things that I have found is that when you get to 7,000 in particular, 7,000 in particular, you got to pay attention. So this is actually, but anyways, if we get down here and we trade through 25, then you also have the possibility of seeing like some stops at 24.5 and then it immediately reverses as well, right? like, I think it's probably safer to watch the interaction. It goes through, see how everybody repositions and reacts, and then if they're able to hold this area, and it gives us a good risk reward opportunity in the area, and then maybe we could get short for some more. But I think I'm better watching this to see if this stacks. If I see this stack, if I see a 7 there, and it'll be very fast, so we got to pay attention here. But watch that 25, because that could be your indication that it's going to stop and turn around there. Okay, so it's 67 now. Nope. Okay, so there actually is a little bit of stacking here. Nope, bold. You notice the minis, the bears are starting to try and make their push now. And cumulative delta is actually coming down. Did Zerv get filled? Please tell me you got filled. So I would be like sweating so hard. Oh my gosh. I hope he's not listening right now. If you're listening, like, just turn it off and don't listen to me. I don't want to be messing with your head. There's still a good chance that you get filled. Okay, so there was 67. And it ticked up. And it ticked up. Not quite the interaction I was looking for, though. He thinks I should sell it still. But that's just what I'm saying, is like, it's not it's not the edge. You get what I mean? So like, if you had sold 27.5, you would have caught the edge. Like, it never would have went past you, right?
Just hearing by the Dow Jones that US-China negotiators narrow differences on trade. That's sources. Progress made on issues including purchases of US goods and services, sources say. The cabinet says level follow-up talks expected in later January, and the two sides still not ready to conclude a trade deal. This is Dow Jones citing sources.
Good job. To get out of I sold 27.5 to get out of my long position. Well, that's where I sold too. Because I bought 27. I sold 27.5. Then it went down, and I was like, whew. Yeah, I did the right thing there. And then it came back up to 27.5, and I said, well, this is good risk reward, but they might try and push it a tick further. It kind of looks like this might be the place they do it. And they didn't. It went down from there. You know? But this is exactly where I'm saying, like, if you had caught 27.5, you had the edge. And now here at 25, you could have been one of those 6,000 orders that got filled. And then you could be relaxing. You got your profit, and you can just sit and see what it does. But 25.5 is not the edge. 25.5, you already had it go against you one tick, even if it goes lower. So 25.5 is not the best spot to do it. Even though it might be a good trade, right? It's just for me and the amount of risk that I want to put on today, it's not the right one. Okay. So what I'm seeing now is that we have traded through 25, and I am not seeing stops. I am not seeing stops at all. And now everything is red. So let's see if it gives us one. Keep in mind though, it's got to give me a spot. It goes bid again. I think though you're going to have hard time. Well, It's just kind of about, for me, it's kind of like, what kind of a price is it? Is it a price that it's really hard for them to buy it at? That's where you want. 27.5, there was an iceberg. That made it difficult for them to trade through it. Now, that also means that there was a lot of people willing to buy it. So you always have to be cautious about an iceberg. Given the location and where it had pivoted before, I think a short at 27.5 made a lot of sense. And, I didn't take it because it's really rangy and I just didn't see a whole lot of reason to put my money at risk. And, I thought maybe it would go for another tick or two and I should wait and see, Okay. But that's something that's like, that's a price that could be an edge. 25.5 is, what is it about that price that is going to stop things at that time? Because they traded through it and then they reversed for a tick and then they went back down again, right? So it's like right in the thick of it. All of the activity was there. Well, yeah. That just means that there's people on both sides willing to buy and sell it, right? Here, it's gone bid again. 26 is pulling. You seen that? Now, maybe if you're talking about going long, but I didn't see the thing, In fact, it looks to me like they're going for that 27.
U.S. Trade Delegation member Winberg says negotiations with China to continue on Wednesday.
Think of it like this. Here's one way I look at it. I'm not saying this is the only way to trade. I'm just saying this is how I look at it, all right? You want to get in here and you want to get out here, right? Why do I say that? Well, think about, like, if we want to reduce risk, I'm not going to do it. It's not. Nope. If I want to minimize the amount of risk, one of the things is that I want to reduce.
Now it's 10 minutes hold on. Top of the hour, we get the JOLTS job openings from the US for November, looking for an estimate of 7.063 million.
That's right. We have news in 10 minutes.
7.079 million. The range 6.973 million to 7.150 million.
So let's watch that. There just could be some people setting up for that. What was the? I didn't hear what it. Oh, JOLTS job openings. Okay, good deal. Anyways, if I want to minimize the amount of time that I'm going to be in the market, one of the things is that I want my fills to be easy. Like, I don't want to be sitting here forever waiting for a fill to get out of my position. Sometimes you have to be patient and everything, but that's not what you want, right? You also would prefer to not have adverse ticks, right? Adverse ticks means that was risk that you were taking on. So number one is I want a spot that they're not going to go through. So either there's a lot of liquidity there that's difficult for them to push through, or people just don't want to buy that price or whatever. So you can sell that. And you can see it in the volume profile. Not a lot of people traded there, right? 29, though, that's the point of control. It's easy to get filled there. You do not have to sit there for very long to get a fill, right? So when I come down to a price like 25.5, which was a break of the overnight low, right? And oh my gosh, Kase, like, have a panic attack. What the heck? You hear that, baby? That is the baby bird freaking out. So anyways, when I come down to like 25.5, it is a new low, and 25,000 trade there. That is not a low risk entry. That is a place to get out. And that right away is like a big flashing red light in my head that's like, I know that there's a chance that it could go through, and I know that below 25.5 things could get crazy, but the risk reward is not worth it. It's too much risk to take it there. And you can see now it bearing out what I'm saying, right? It may still go down for another low. Don't get me wrong. It could totally get down for another low. But to do that, you were taking on 2 ticks of risk to hold it, right? 2 ticks of risk is like my stop. So it was not a good scalp for me, not for my strategy. And you've got to remember, like we were pointing out, 25.5 was a key level, but they love to pierce it and reverse. And that's what they did. That one was a little weird because often when you get those, you'll see stops, you know? Nobody ever stopped out. Nobody ever stopped out. Sometimes when nobody ever stops out and it just goes offer, that just means that they just keep going. But when they came back out here and 26 went bid, now I know that scenario is not playing out. So now the scenario is maybe they are doing the head fake, or it could just be that they're going to establish a range. So we might get a short at 27.5 or something, you know. I'll have to see. But you know, that price was saying don't sell me. So I stayed out. I appreciate though that you feel invested. And you're like, just sell it. Not gonna harp on you for it going back, because really we had no clue what it was going to do for sure, right? And it could have gone through, and then you would be like, haha, see, I told you. That's 8 ticks you missed out on, right? But I just know, based on the way that I want to trade, that was not a price that I wanted to take. 27 may be a price that I want to take. There's already been 2,000 traded at it. This is very much like what we saw at 27.5, isn't it? Saw it and I thought, well, there's probably an iceberg. There's probably going to be 4,000 to 5,000 traded here, right? Context is a little bit different this time, though, because we just broke a new low. Potentially had a reversal. They may try and push it higher. Nope. Wow. Well, they were able to trade through the 26.5 very easily. And they put a really good offer on there, and the E-mini looks like it's turning around. No. 26 even is not the best price. Let's see here. E-mini is being kind of, I don't know. Are they going to sell hard here? They're right at the VWAP. They're still selling.
It's under 3 minutes now until the US JOLTS job openings for November, looking for an estimate of 7.063 million.
Okay. Okay, so 26.5 is not the price either. Maybe we'll hold off until the news happens. How are we doing? I haven't, because... Yeah, okay. Because the restream chat is not... I'm not sure if it's working well. So a lot of chat in Discord this morning, but not in YouTube.
One minute.
See, that 26.5 has gone bid and offer many times, and they're not holding a strong bid or offer at that price. So that is another indication.
The US trade delegation member there, Winberg, just saying negotiations with China have gone well.
Oh, good job. Good deal. Love it. The JOLTS number that we're looking for is 7.07. So this just says weight could easily get filled here. If the numbers come out and I decide that I do want to get short and I'm worried that it's going to go without me, then maybe I will take that price. But I would much prefer...
6.888 million there for the US JOLTS job openings. The prior has been revised as well to 7.131 million from 7.079 million. Just to repeat that, then US JOLTS job openings coming in at 6.888
so not reacting.
million.
At least Treasuries aren't. But the number was bad. Not like terrible, but it was not good. Okay. Yeah, I respect your passion. Well, I don't think he was trying to mess with me or anything, right? There are some people that will come in and try and mess with me. And, say, oh, we really want to buy, and it's like the worst spot to do it, or whatever it is, right? I think he really believed that it should sell 25.5. But I can't really listen to what anybody else says because nobody else trades the exact strategy that I do, you know? And I would also definitely, to influence my opinion, I would need to see something much more than just, hey, you should sell it here, you know? And you would need a really good reason, really good explanation for why that particular price holds edge. Yeah. Right here at 27. We've been there for a long time. We traded there quite a bit earlier. We had a difficult time getting through it. There was an iceberg there last time. There's probably going to be a lot of people that take profits at 27, regardless of whether or not we go through and trade 27.5. Right? That's some edge at 27. Is it enough edge for you to take a trade? Well, I'm not so sure. I'm kind of watching this. It's been back and forth here a number of times now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's actually a really good chance that they move through here now. If they don't, then we start to get into the potential reversal type stuff and all that. Okay, so there's still not enough buyers to clear 27. And so they are selling it at 26.5. Just going back and forth here. Really weak. Not nearly as much interest here at 26.5 as there was when we were breaking the lows, that's for sure. There is a little bit of bidding in the 5-year though. Concerns me about taking a long or a short. This right here, you can see it there at 12 3/4, 3,700 being bid. Okay, it pulls. They're able to take 26 really easily. Nobody's selling immediately into 25.5, huh? While the E-mini's making a bit of a recovery. Duno's probably screaming, look, here's your chance now, you can sell it again. May actually go through it and not look back this time. I don't know. I think there's going to be some... there's going to be a lot of people that are wondering if this is a reversal and are going to be buying 25.5 and 25 this time, you know? To say, though, the cumulative delta on the way back here has been really uneventful. It's been pretty flat. It's been pretty flat. Mm. So I think 26 is going to go bid again. But look at this, has just really gotten slow. Yeah, you gotta wonder here, especially the E-mini being this slow. Little weird. It's a little weird. If that was a reversal, that's the weakest reversal I've ever seen. And yes, that is. Okay. You can see seller trying to sweep. What's this? Oh, look, it's our old friend. Brannigan Barrett is talking to Vinny? Oh, oh dear, don't do it. Don't do it, Brannigan. Oh, don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, I really want to go on there and be like, no, no, Brannigan, don't do it. But like, I feel like that would be like, oh man, I don't know. I don't know what to. You know what? I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm gonna fucking do it. You know what? My whole thing has been like, what I was saying to myself. You know what? I just gotta do what I'm saying and not let people freaking. You know. Well, let's see here. Where is he? How come I don't see him? No, I'm not even following him. No, I don't even see that. I don't even see that tweet on there. Oh, it was several days ago. That's why. Okay. Well, several days ago. It's probably too late to warn him. He probably already knows that guy is. By the time he'd get my message, he probably already knows that Vinny is trouble. Okay, let's see here. What's this? There's another picture. They're not. I mean, they're holding strong there at 26.5 now. Uh, Lovely idea, but limitations include affordability, location, dilution of definable edges. For example, how I set my monitor screens up as an element of edge. The community is a lot smaller than most think. When you put on a desk fee of £1,200 for desk base alone, the number drops significantly. I need to chat with traders. So what is his what was chat with traders comment though? Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting though. Thank you for forwarding that, Fib. It was funny. I always wonder because I know that because I tweet and I know I've tweeted at them before, and some people have even come in and said hi a few times. I think Pete came in and said hi to us once, and so it's like I know that they probably never think about me, but I think that they've at least been aware of my existence at least one point in their life. You know what I mean? And people will come by, and I just always kind of wonder what they think. But especially Brannigan, man, I tell you what, I really like that guy. When he does the videos on Axia, he has so many. Oh, there you go. Look, it went up. It went up. Okay. I don't know, guys. Now you're going to get to that 28, and there is 6 at 28. We'll keep an eye on this one. Anyways, when he the things that he says, like I remember he gave he made one video where he talked about an apple, and he said, what color is this apple? And normally you would answer, well, it's red, because we know that apples are red. But then he said, well, it's not actually red. I mean, it is red here, but there's also like some yellow and green in it. And, there's a texture to it. And then he likened it to markets, and he said, the market doesn't tend to reward the answer that the apple is red. It's that kind of more nuanced and more accurate answer that the market tends to respond to, because your edge in a market can be so small. You really have to pay attention to the smallest details, and you really need to look for the edge that is counterintuitive, I guess. I thought that was such a good point and such a great way of explaining it. And then his voice is just like, he has such a great voice. I love his accent. It's like a lot of traders are irritating to listen to. I'm probably a little irritating to listen to. At least I personally don't super like my voice. I know everybody hates their own voice, but I kind of listen to myself and I'm like, well, I don't have a super soothing low voice or anything. But Brannigan just kind of has that posh accent, It's just, I kind of like listening to him. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's always kind of interesting things going on in the community. I like being where we are, where it's kind of like we kind of know everything that's going on and we got our thing, but we're not important. You know what I mean? I tell you what. Oh, we're coming up to the VWAP here, so we gotta watch this now. I don't know if we're gonna go through here or what. But if I ever get to the place where popular, and I mean like I wouldn't even consider Axia popular. Like it's still like a small thing, But like I could see this stream maybe if we did really well and we continue to have good conversation in here and everything, maybe we could have 100 viewers a day, right? But if we get to the point where it's like we have thousands of viewers and CNBC is talking about us and all of that sort of a thing, run. Like freaking run. There is no reason that futures trading, especially Treasury futures trading, should be that popular, and it will not last if it ever happens. You get what I'm saying? You smelling what I'm stepping in? Should never happen. We should always just kind of be, oh yeah, there's a chat room. It's kind of nice. Kind of like there's some good guys in there. They have good trades every once in a while. You know? But we should never be super popular. That's a warning that something's off. Something is out of balance and that it may not last. Okay, well, the E-mini is selling. The E-mini is selling quite strongly, in fact. I'm really happy that I never sold 25.5. Now here is a price. A VWAP. Always gotta watch the VWAP, guys. I don't think it's telling me anything super strong, though. I know I can get filled at 28.5. Like, if I wanted to buy it there, I probably could still get away with it. They'll always trade back and forth. I didn't see an iceberg yet. There's usually an iceberg at the VWAP. I haven't seen an iceberg yet. You know, we should reset the DOM here at the very least and, like, clear off this garbage that I've got drawn on here. If you would make big profits every day, then CNN will come to you too. Maybe. Maybe. But that's why I said it's either way, if I was really popular, it would be unsustainable, right? Because if I was trading and I was trading really, really well and thousands of people were coming to watch me, that would eliminate the edge, right? And so then you would stop doing well and then people would stop watching. Or I would have to change something like maybe I would just wouldn't show the order flow or my trades anymore, you know, because that if you were that popular, maybe the CME would have a problem with it too, right? So then I, would just have to change the format up a little bit to put a bit more focus on the talking or something like that, you know? Okay, so they took 29 and 29 has a strong bid on it too. So I'm a little, I don't know. So at this point, now that we're above the VWAP, I can start asking myself, has there been a change in the daily trend? Is there a chance that we're going to start trading above 30? And I'm just not so sure. I did expect the E-mini to... Oh, by the way, Zerv, did you get out?
Block cell.
Ah. The voice. It speaks. It says block cell at 29. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. I'm really happy with that. Very happy with that. Let's be cautious though. Still. There is a big bid there, 27.5. Is that gonna... I don't know why that's there. It showed up twice. You see here on the DOM? See right there? One showed up at 27.5 and one showed up at 26. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? So it could just be a robot. That 27.5 could be fake. Could be multiple private targets. It did it when we came up to the VWAP though. It's that you buy a fake Rolex, you rent a Lambo and distribute fake dollars on the table and you say you can have all that. If you do that every day, then people will start to believe in it and CNN is at the door. Yeah, totally. Well, I'll tell you what. When Garlic Coin moons, and I'm a multimillionaire, you know, I'll give away free garlic coins on stream. That'll bring people in, right? Everybody loves garlic coins. Well, a little bit pulled at 27.5, but not a ton. They're putting some pressure on it at 28. The E-mini is stopped moving down. I don't know if this is going to turn around yet. They're just kind of going sideways still. But I'm liking it so far. The 27.5 did go offer, right? At one point it went offer. Okay, there's an iceberg there. The E-mini is starting to push up. Okay. Let's move this. We'll see if it's starts to get do shifty things here. Then I'll manually click out. Let's move this, of course, to break even. Okay. Okay. So that 27 is now... It's not pulling. This 27.5 is kind of being a little fiddly. There are some big orders above us in the E-mini. I don't know if they're going to go for them or not. Yeah, there's a little bit too much being bid at 27.5. So this is telling me this price is balanced still. 27.5. Still balanced. A really good chance that price could end up becoming the point of control at some point. Question is, will it go further? You notice they're actually putting some strong bids up and then they're pulling them and nothing's actually trading. Okay, I guess it was 1,000, but like that was like 2,000 at one point and then they pulled. Right, okay, okay, they're not offering a lot. They're very balanced. Okay, 2,000 this time. 2,000. Pulled again. Look, 2,000 there traded, so that was enough for me to say. Plus, it's almost 8:30.
In the UK Debt Management Office says to sell 2.5 million of 1% 2024 conventional gilt on January 17th.
Yeah, so I got it at a really good edge. Never went against me. But you could see it was balanced there at 27.5. Now we're up a tick. So I did it. I did the right thing. It could go further. But, you know, if today was a trend, if there was a trend and there was, you know, some real reasons for it to go further and that sort of a thing, you know, then, of course, you hold it on and see what happens. But today has been relatively range bound still. We had kind of a really weird reversal. 3 ticks is, you know, asking for more is asking a lot, you know. So if it's a trend, you could have a pullback and say, "Hey, well, I'm going to keep in it because I don't want to risk getting out and then not being able to get back in." But in this kind of situation, when price starts acting like that, you've got to take note. And it came back up. I think that I did a good job there. Could have been if I had been any more what is the word? If I had any less conviction on that thing and had held it for just a little bit longer, I would maybe be breaking even right now. So I did that one really well. I played that one really well. 27.5 is the best. 29. I played that swing almost perfectly. Almost perfectly. Okay, well, given that it's 8:30, I don't want to be opening new positions at 8:30. But well, let's post the Bitcoin notes. Sell higher like 2,600, right? Well, they went a little bit lower, so I don't know. Super heart. They're gonna buy again, huh? Okay. No, you don't have freaking. Well, okay, whatever. Whatever. 8:33, huh? Well, at least they came in at the end of the stream. I wonder. So is Bitcoin gonna start buying now? See, it's the last time that he came in, they bought. Do you guys remember that? He came in and we're like, what the fuck is with this guy? And then Bitcoin started going up. Maybe it was just a coincidence. But you know what? If Bitcoin starts buying here again today, then I'm going to start going, oh, maybe the CFTC would like to hear about this. That feel when you catch the entire ES down move so far. So is Sun Devil short? Please tell me you're short. I hate seeing my guys losing money, guys. And I guess it wasn't like a disaster, but I hope you got that down. What about here? Nope. Okay. Well, let's post our notes. Let's generate our charts. Okay. So today is 92. Actually, where do we gotta get to? Hasn't updated in a few days. It's actually the upper range in Bitcoin has actually changed. It's now telling me 4,200. I guess one thing from that earlier discussion that we were having about like if I ever got popular, one thing is that I do really believe in the Bitcoin indicator. I've made money on the Bitcoin indicator. It has been scary accurate at some point. At some point, I'm gonna have to write a book or something. You know, how I became a millionaire trading Bitcoin. I know it sounds crazy, but that's how I really feel like we've got like a golden goose here. And we might get popular because of that. But if that happens, people should come in and start watching futures and be like, well, this is fucking boring. And go away, right? There shouldn't be that many people. I appreciate those of you guys that enjoy this, and I really enjoy the community that we have here. But there's no reason that this community should ever get super huge, you know? We're the few that are crazy enough to sit and put up with this sort of thing, you know what I mean? So you would see something where like it'd get popular for a while, but then it would go back down. But then the other thing is, and I have to warn you guys, things are going to change. So I just want to let you guys know now ahead of time, because I love presidential primaries, and so we're going to talk about the presidential primaries when the Democrat primaries get underway. We're going to talk about that. And on that note, I will stream tonight when Donald Trump is giving his speech so that we can do a live reaction. We can talk about it. Just what I'm reading over the wires, like people on Reddit and Facebook talking, Democrats sound a little concerned. Like they seem a little worried about what Donald Trump is going to say and you know, how much it's going to hurt their case or change the landscape is a little uncertain. But it depends on what he says and if he actually does any action, or you know what the deal is. But it's definitely worth watching, and so we can watch that together tonight. We'll do that, and when the primaries happen later this year, we'll do that as well. So just warning you, maybe some political stuff coming at you. Yep, Superheart says that he's buying. Yep, I know, Ace. He's like, hey, shut the fuck up, okay? I think he's full of shit. Do you? What do you think? Because, like, really, we go in and say, oh, I'm buying all of this Bitcoin. I don't know. Last time he bought, like, the market was moving up after he did it. So if it does it, maybe it was a coincidence. Or maybe he's not actually buying, but he thinks that he sees some reason for it to go up, and so that time that reason was correct, and maybe this time it won't be. You know what I mean? In Google us, we own it. Yeah, okay. Whatever. But why would you tell everybody so that they can front run you? This is kind of dumb. So Henry says, I'm gonna buy another billion. Okay, whatever, dude. We don't care. I am Binance. Well, okay. So here's the thing. If you are Binance, then you really have a fucking problem. Because for an exchange to be buying things and telling the world about it, that is not legal. 100% not legal. And what you're doing, you should stop it. If you're really Binance, you need to go and hire a better compliance guy, because what you're doing is really fucking dumb. If you're, but you're probably not, because I just cannot. Oh man, I hope that exchanges are not that stupid. All right, maybe just this one exchange is that stupid, but like really. You should get a better compliance guy. You should go hire a lawyer, because that is not legal. You can't just go and say, hey, we're an exchange and we're going to buy a bunch of shit. Manipulation of the highest order, especially for an exchange. The exchange is not supposed to manipulate the market. No. Maybe he just means like I do so much volume that I am that exchange. I don't know. But I think you're probably just full of shit. That's probably, chances are he's probably just full of shit. But we'll see. It's not really moving right now. Yeah. So anyways, I am going to type a little bit of notes here now. So, and then we'll close the stream down. So if you guys have any like last second questions, oh, your feet cut out. But if you have any last second questions or, comments, now's the time to get them in. Ace trade. Dude. I don't know why I find that. It's so the Bitcoin Foundation, the Super Heart Fort Foundation came in and says 100 Bitcoin filled. And Ace Trade says your mom got filled at 100. Just the dumbest your mom joke ever, but I just think it's fucking hilarious. I'm glad you share my feelings on this Joker coming in and telling us that he's all buying stuff. because it's pretty dumb. Yeah, it reminds me of this joke the other day I saw where they were talking about Thanos and the snap, and they said your mom was so fat Thanos had to snap twice, and she just lost weight. Anyways, okay, so yeah, I think that's about it. I will see you guys tonight for the presidential address.